Got to hand it to Mrs. Morris, don't you?
Yeah, she's the only one who's ever given two hoots about any of us.
Now, hang on. I didn't say she was the one who left the paper for me. What are you trying to do, get her into trouble?
Oh, come off it, Lizzie. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. It didn't tell us much, did it? We still don't know if Bee's all right or not.
Are you Ralph?
Depends who wants him.
I'm Lindy. Helen Smart said you can help me out.
Oh, old Helen. Yeah, we might be able to do business.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple, Mrs. Powell. Miss Ferguson's got us all insured against punishment like that. And she owes us all $5 each.
Yes, she does.
The hell are you on about, Birdsworth?
We've all lost our privileges since Bee went over the wall.
So,
We've all paid our insurance, and that means we can all make a claim. Isn't that right, girls?
Yeah. Fair's fair. We want our dough, so you better pay up.
insurance scheme, eh? Tell me more.
You're running it. That's all we need to know.
Accusing an officer is a very serious charge, Daniels. Wouldn't you say so, Mrs. Powell?
Yes, it certainly is, Miss Ferguson.
Perhaps you'd like to repeat it to the Governor and fill her in on the illegal activities you claim are going on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things we could tell her about smuggling and insurance and the screw that's getting a chop.
Yeah. Reckon you could do your job over something like that?
No officer would risk her job bringing in goods for you lot. But we do know that there's smuggling going on, and I'm sure the Governor would be most interested in which prisoners are involved.
We've got a thing or two that I reckon we could tell her about a screw's involvement. What do you reckon, everyone? What's the matter with you buggers?
And a change of heart, have you? I thought so. And the next time you go sounding off, you'll all be up on charges.
All right, everyone inside. Unless, of course, you've got something else you want to say.
What's the matter with you two? You heard the bell. Playtime's over. Don't go reading any fairy stories, Birdsworth. You might start confusing things again.
Dirty mongrel! And a great bloody help you lot were.
Geez, what could we do, Lizzie? She's got a way of looking right through you.
You could have backed me up, that's what you could have done, instead of shoving off with your bloody tails between your legs. Oh.
Yeah, well, I did my best, Lizzie.
Yeah, you did, love, but nobody else did. We had something on her for a change. All we had to do was stand together.
You had nothing on her, you stupid old bitch. She's a pro. She didn't even bat an eyelid.
I reckon she was running scared.
Bull. She had you, and she knew it. You should have all listened to me.
Oh, fat little good that would have done.
Whatever that bitch Clark told the screws, they couldn't prove a thing against me. But now, thanks to our lagger here, they know for sure there's a racket going on.
Don't you call me a lagger?
Why not? Davo's going to be looking at whoever's running this insurance scheme, isn't she?
Yeah, the freak.
And if she decides it's not the freak, she's going to start looking at us. They're going to tighten up things so much around here, we won't be able to get so much as a burnt-out fag into this joint from now on.
Well, Well, from what you've just seen, and with Julian Clark's report, it's obvious that Ferguson is involved to some degree. Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mackenzie wasn't the mastermind behind the whole scheme. Well, the sooner we get to the bottom of it, the better. It's not going to be easy, though. But you'd wonder how there'd be any profit in a scheme that pays out every time the women are punished. Well, it certainly explains why solitary and extra duties were so popular. But if Ferguson is helping the women, I can't understand why they're broadcasting it. Well, I've got no idea. Unless, of course, she's crossed them in some way. Or she could say they're just setting her up. Which could be the case, of course. Yeah, doubt that. But we've already found out how difficult it is to prove her dealings with the women. Well, you'd better bring in Daniels and Birdsworth. If they've got any definite proof that Ferguson is involved, we'll finally have something concrete to put before the department.
What'll it be? Gin. Make it a double.
Hard day.
Yeah. Aren't they all? Gets you that way sometimes.
Buy you a drink?
I already got one.
I'll get you another one.
Oh, rack up. Well, I'm waiting for somebody.
Okay. I'll have him trying.
Girl ought to be able to come into a quiet drink if she likes. Yeah. Has this place got a band or anything?
This goes next door. Starting up in an hour or two. Not too bad if you like it loud.
Louder the better.
I would like to know how this insurance scheme works and the people involved.
Works like any other insurance racket. You pay up when you get nicked your claim.
I see. And who gets paid?
Miss Ferguson gets it all in the end.
Who pays Miss Ferguson?
Oh, God, does that matter? It's Miss Ferguson you got to get because she's a bloody bent screw.
Lizzie, if I am to take this matter further, I need names and facts.
We gave you a name. Ferguson.
There's obviously more than one person involved in the scheme. I have a fair idea who it is, but I need confirmation.
Mrs. Davidson, you know we can't lag.
And I can't help you unless you cooperate. Very well, Mrs. Powell. Take them back to the recreation room.
Oh, but that's not fair. We're the ones getting ripped off.
Yeah, and all the rest of it.
Lizzie, you refuse to give me any names. The women wouldn't back you up in the garden. There's nothing I can do to help you.
They're all scared, that's why.
Just tell us, Birdsworth.
Now I know how Bea felt when we all chickened out on her. She must have felt really lonely and useless. Well, she's not here now, and I hope if they ever catch her, they don't bring her back to this dump because you don't give a stuff about us. We could all rot for all you care.
Ferguson's on her way. Thank you, Mrs. Powell. What did you make of Lizzie's outburst? Well, she certainly confirmed there's some scheme running. We'll have to do something about it. The department will think that the security regulations here are laughable. Oh, surely this time they'll see exactly where the problem lies. Well, Ted Douglas is coming over for drinks at my place this evening. Perhaps we could have an informal talk about it.
Well, wish you luck. You wanted to see me, Governor?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Powell. Miss Ferguson, the women tell me you're running an insurance scheme.
Just another one of their tricks. They soon became very quiet when I threatened to bring them to you about it.
Yes, I know they're unwilling to talk about it. I also have a fair idea why.
Are you accusing me of anything, Governor?
No, but I do have to take the matter seriously. They are not the only complaints I've received.
You mean Jill Clark?
Yes.
Her reports are hardly factual.
Why do you say that?
The women knew from the beginning that she was working for the department. They probably fed her all kinds of rot.
I am taking that into account. I'm curious to know how you found out about her.
Any fool could have picked it. She asked too many questions. Her cover was sloppy, and she had no conviction.
How do you know that?
Well, I thought it rather strange when you and Mr. Douglas visited her in solitary. So I rang the courts.
You had no right to do that. It did not concern you.
I thought it did.
Very well. I have no proof of your involvement, but a corrupt officer is a very serious matter.
Of course.
If I get the slightest shred of evidence, I can assure you your employment will terminate immediately. Is that understood?
Yes, Governor. But I can assure you, you won't find any.
Now, what the hell's happened to Lindy, huh?
She'll be here when she's ready.
She went out to buy dope, remember?
I told you the guy I sent it to is okay. Besides, she couldn't have much cash.
Yeah, well, she could be out earning it, huh?
After all that's gone on, it'll be a long time before she's back on the game.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, come on, Jude, you got to give her a space. After all she's been through, she needs to relax.
I know that. It's just... I can't help worrying about her. I mean, the cops are here all the time looking for Bea. What happens if Lindy Walsh is in stoned?
Well, I don't think you have to worry about the cops. Bea's been out for quite a while. Well, things are looking good, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, come on, Jude. Bea can take care of herself.
I just can't understand why she did it.
Well, you're one person that should. You've been there.
She was always down on escaping. She said, you escape, you get caught, you get more time.
Well, people can change their mind after a while in there.
Must have been something really awful to make her do it. If she gets caught...
Oh, Jude, for God's sake. She hasn't yet. Now, come on. I'm a working girl and I've got to have my mind on the job, not on you.
You're not going to go and work tonight after all the work you put in here today.
Yes, I am. And that's why I've got myself an easy little night. Couple of regulars with fat wallets and not much else.
Oh, my God.
Now, you keep smiling. Bye-bye.
You've been stood up, huh?
What?
I said, you're still on your own.
Yeah.
You want to go to the disco?
Yeah. Yeah, why not? This is just as good in there, I suppose.
Sorry I'm late, Erica. Got held up with some paperwork.
Oh, it's happened to me often enough. I know how it is.
Yes.
Sit down, make yourself comfortable. I'll get you a drink. The usual?
Yes, thank you. It's been a while since we've had a drink and a chat, eh?
Yes, we'll have to do it more often in the future.
Oh, it's good to relax. Forget about prisons for a while. Thank you.
Ted, I know you didn't want to discuss business.
That's right, I don't. It's a social visit, remember?
I know, but there is something we have to clear up.
All right, go on.
The problem of Joan Ferguson. We must face it. Everything points to her being corrupt. And now there's the question of her efficiency.
We've no proof of that. Look, I know she left her post. I know B. Smith escaped. I've already talked to her about that.
There's more to it than that, and you know it. The women are upset.
It's nothing new.
Now, much as I disliked having Gillian Clark in the prison, at least she confirmed our suspicions about Ferguson.
Without giving us a shred of evidence.
Well, it's only because Ferguson found out who Clark was, and naturally she was more careful.
Oh, come on, Erica.
Ted, I don't think you realize just how devious this woman is. She heard us talking to Clark in solitary and then checked her out in the courts.
Well, that hardly counts as inefficiency.
But it's what she did with the information. Haven't you wondered how the women found out about Clark?
Oh, you're saying Ferguson told the women?
I'm sure of it.
Oh, that's pure speculation.
No, it isn't. It's highly probable, especially if she's in league with Mackenzie. Now, I want a full investigation.
Well, later, perhaps.
Why not now, before the damage is done? If Ferguson is corrupt, and I'm sure of it, I want her out of there.
Erica, the department is very busy with future plans for Wentworth. Now, an investigation could cause, well, problems.
Plans? What sort of plans?
Just a few changes. Now, look, that's all I can tell you. I don't know how you're going to take this, but... well, this time, even I think the department's gone too far.
Stop playing games, okay?
Leave me alone.
Who's been paying your drinks all night, huh? Real quality stuff, too.
Oh, you blokes are all the same. You buy a girl a few drinks, you think she's yours, and leave me alone.
Can't read them all, I guess. There's plenty more where that come from.
Oh, buggers.
What's the matter?
Oh, I can't sleep. I keep thinking of how I stuffed everything up for everyone.
Oh, I wouldn't take no notice of Nola.
Yeah, she was right, though. I knew the freak had frightened all the women into shutting up.
Still, I reckon you gave her a pretty good scare, though, Lizzie.
Did I?
Of course you did. She got a hell of a shock when you fronted her.
Yeah, she did, didn't she? Bea would have planned it better. God. I do miss her, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's out. But it seems funny without her. We've been together for so many years. I hope she's all right. She mightn't have gone if we'd listened to her. But I'm not going to let her down again. I'm going to stand up to that bloody freak every bloody time I get the chance.
Thought it might have been you. You all right?
Yeah, sure. I'm just a bit jumpy.
Huh. And how many of those have you had?
None.
Pull the other leg, Lindy. You're as high as a kite.
Well, that'll help me sleep.
Now, you know the rules here, Lindy. No dope. Hand them over.
No.
Come on, Lindy.
No, I paid for them. You can't take them off me.
You're not the only person, you know. If the police find out we have dope here, they'll close us down. You know that.
Well, they won't find anything.
Oh, God. That's real smart, Lindy. Real clever. What the hell are you trying to do to yourself? I thought you came here for help.
I need them.
You can't solve your problems with dope, Lindy.
Yeah, I can. It makes them all float away.
Oh, God. Come on, let's have a coffee.
I don't want a coffee. I just want to float.
For God's sake, Lindy.
Oh, geez, dude, I thought you'd understand. I need them.
All I can understand is that you are stoned, and that is not doing you or anyone else any good.
That's my problem.
No. While you are here, it is my problem as well. Oh, look, if you won't have a coffee, at least go to bed and sleep it off. We'll talk about it in the morning.
Well, why don't you put bars on the windows? You're running this place like a bloody prison.
squeak, Birdsworth. What the hell do you think you were doing this afternoon?
Nothing, Miss Ferguson.
You were trying to embarrass me in front of the deputy governor. Yes. You were trying to make sure that the governor heard all sorts of unpleasant things about me.
I didn't mean it.
Fancy yourself as top dog now that Smith's gone, do you?
No.
Oh, I hope not. It's no place for an old woman with a weak heart. And it is weak, isn't it, Birdsworth?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, Miss Ferguson.
That's better. Now, you just remember, Birdsworth, I can come in here any time I like. And that'd be a terrible strain on a bad heart. So you just keep your mouth shut from now on. I don't want my name connected with insurance schemes or anything else. You got that, Birdsworth? Good. I'm glad we understand each other.
Maxie.
Hi.
Oh, God, you just made me lose all my 9 lives at once.
Sorry, Miss Smart. Helen. It is Helen, isn't it?
Okay, what do you want?
Robbie Johnson sent me over. Tells me you give a pretty good service.
Robbie, huh? How is he? I haven't seen him for a while.
Fine. The import business is doing pretty well. He had to spend a night with the family, otherwise he would have joined us.
Oh, I see.
So how about it?
Well, seeing as though Robbie's a regular.
He didn't mention how much for the night.
Oh, no. We'll discuss the details inside, okay?
Sure.
I never conduct business on the streets.
Inside's as good as anywhere.
Okay.
Who's this? What do you want? Oh, no, not you, you bloody pig. Get away from me. Oh, please. Judy!
Lindy?
Oh, Jude.
Oh, my God. Lindy, what happened?
Oh, God, Jude, it was horrible.
Honey, what? Sit down. You're all right now. You're safe now, huh? Let's look.
I couldn't stop him. I tried.
Well, tell me what happened, Lindy, please.
He raped me, Jude. And hit me. He just kept on and on.
Well, who did?
That creep next door.
Trevor? Are you sure he's so young?
Of course I'm sure. I'd know that freak anywhere. He must have been waiting and watching all that time.
It's all right, honey. I'll call the cops.
No!
I have to. You've been raped.
Look at me. Who's going to believe it wasn't my fault? I'm a pro. I've been popping pills. I'll say I asked for it anyway.
It doesn't matter what they'll say. You've been raped. We've got to make sure that bastard doesn't get away with it.
Evening, Mrs. Morris. Thought it was about time I dropped in.
Helen, it's a bit late for new arrivals, isn't it?
No one to take care of me at the watch house, so they brought me straight here.
Suppose there's no point in asking why you're here.
Well, you know how it is. Life gets a bit hectic in the fast lane. Thought I'd better recharge the batteries.
Ah, yes. A Obtaining money for immoral purposes.
Yep. And I fell for the oldest trick in the book, too. Plainclothes copper posing as the maid of a regular.
Them's the breaks.
Mrs. Collins.
Yes, what is it?
I'm Detective Skinner. I'd like to see your son, Trevor, please.
Why? What's happened?
There's been a serious charge laid against him.
But that's impossible. What do you mean?
There's been a rape and assault next door, and the woman concerned has named your son as the attacker.
You all right now, love?
Yeah, I guess.
Good. Ready to answer some questions?
Questions? What questions? I didn't do nothing. It's a pig next door. You ought to be...
Steady on, love. She wants to help, but she has to ask questions, and don't worry, she'll be asking Trevor a few as well.
Yeah, well, they better. He's the bastard who did it.
Are you quite sure of that?
I already said so, didn't I? I told you they wouldn't believe me.
Honey, it's not that they don't believe you, but they have to be careful. It's a serious charge.
Yeah, well, I'm the one with the bruises to show for it.
It's not the first time you've been bashed, is it?
What do you mean?
Your name's on our records.
Oh, that's got nothing to do with it.
It could have.
Why, I've given all that up anyway.
Not the drugs.
Well, I'm not on the game anymore. And I was lying in my bed minding my own business when that creep came in. He's always sneaking around perving on me. What about me when he and Maxine bailed up?
Calm down, love.
Anyway, why all the hassling? Oh, it's crazy. I'm not supposed to be on trial.
No. But if this gets to court, you'll be answering a lot of questions. It'd be better if we could get the story straight now.
You're getting it. Okay, so I turned tricks, plenty of them. But even if I was still doing it, rape is something else. I reckon anybody's got a right to protection against that.
Well, I didn't do it. I'd never do anything like that. You know that, don't you, Mum?
Of course I do, son. These women attract undesirables. You ought to be looking among her associates. He's a good boy. He's been asleep upstairs all night.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm afraid that's not a good enough alibi.
What do you mean? I'd have heard if he'd gone out.
Not if you didn't want you to. You've done that before, haven't you, son? Snuck out to visit the girls next door.
Who told you that?
Just answer the question, Trevor.
Yes.
Trevor.
I need to visit my friend.
And who might that friend be?
Maxine. One of the girls who went to the prison. She came to work at the house. She's really nice.
Maxine. Do you have any other friends there?
Well, sort of. I talk to the others sometimes, just to be friendly. I wouldn't hurt anyone. There's nothing wrong with trying to be friends, is there?
Oh, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry when I saw you in the showers.
Well, most of the people I know don't do either. They've got other things in mind.
You rude little thing. Good, it's good to see you, though, love. How long do you reckon they'll keep you in this time?
Oh, I don't know. I've got a date with the judge this morning. Would you?
Hey, did you hear anything from Bea when you were with Jude?
No. But no news is good news, eh?
Yeah, Bea'll keep 3 steps ahead of the cops this time.
Like hell. She'll trip over her own fat feet sooner or later.
Oh, no, she won't. Bea knows all the lurks, and she won't ever come back in here.
She'll be back. And when she is, I'm going to be waiting for her. She nicked off with my dough, and she's going to pay for it.
Cal.
Jude filled me in on her. She seems like a nasty piece of work.
Yeah. Trouble is, now Bea's gone, we haven't got any top dog, and nobody's game enough to stick up to her.
She planning on taking over?
Of course she is. Well, you've no idea what it's been like in here, love. Oh, good. We need somebody to take Bea's place.
Yeah, we both tried, but need someone with lots of nous.
Oh, well, don't look at me.
Why not? We've got to have somebody to take her place, otherwise we'll have this mongrel pushing us around all the time.
Love, I'm just passing through. We'll probably only get a couple of weeks.
Oh, bugger it. Nothing's going right in here.
Some release forms for you to sign.
Oh, yes, of course. I've just had the department on the phone.
No more trouble, I hope.
No, and from what Ted Douglas said last night, I thought there would be. Stricter regulations, etc.
Oh, no, that'd be disastrous.
Yes, I agree. But it would seem I was worried about nothing. Apparently, the new instructions are quite surprising.
I don't believe you. Here, watch this again. You missed something on it.
May I have your attention, please?
I have some good news.
Now this freak's resigned.
Wouldn't bet you buy up on it. Thank you, ladies. The department has decided to allow you a few extra things for your dormitory.
What sort of things, Mrs. Davidson?
That will be for you to decide.
I don't believe this.
You mean we can just ask for something and get it? Not quite. You're to give them a list to be considered.
There must be a catch somewhere.
Well, I'll settle for a large box of whiskey.
You know what's gone at the top of my list, and he can bring his bike too if he likes. Naturally, the list will have to be sensible, but anything within reason will be considered.
Like my box of whiskey?
I don't think so, Lizzie. I would advise you to keep your suggestions to soft furnishings and plants, that sort of thing. You mean they're really going to cough up? Yes, they want to improve the place. Now, I'd like the list as soon as possible.
Good.
You can go back to work now, ladies. Daniels, you are to go with Mrs. Morris. You're wanted in the interview room.
Hi! I've got a visitor. Who is it, Mrs. M?
You'll find out when you get there, won't you?
I just have one bottle of whiskey.
Oh, Heather, would you tell Mrs. Davidson I saw those girls that are about to be released? Thanks. Helen, what the hell are you doing here?
Plainclothes copper decided I needed a holiday out of the sun.
Oh, what a bad break, love. I had some trouble at the house last night. Lindy was raped.
What?
Yeah, she's bruised and battered and very upset.
Poor little kid. Did they catch him?
She said it was Trevor Collins.
You're kidding me.
I wish I was. Well, there's your camp supervisor.
Oh, God. Look after Lindy for me. Oh, I wish there was something I could do.
Don't worry, honey. I'll keep in touch, and don't lose too much of your tan, okay?
Well, that's bloody unreal, that is. I mean, Trevor wouldn't rape anyone.
Maxine, this is important.
Yeah, I know, and I feel real sorry for Lindy. But she's got no right to go accusing Trevor.
She identified her attacker.
Oh, balls, she was probably mistaken.
Hasn't he made advances to you at Driscoll House?
Well, you might call it that.
What exactly happened?
Well, you see, we was putting away the cleaning stuff and he was helping me. And there wasn't much room and we sort of got jammed up against one another.
Go on.
Well, he sort of... Want me to show you?
Just tell me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, he sort of touched me and then he kissed me.
So there was physical contact?
Oh, well, not much. He's real shy-like.
Can you think of any reason why Miss Delaney should accuse Trevor of raping her?
Well, I don't know. Oh, she did burst in and catch us kissing. She got the wrong idea. She thought he was attacking me, but he wouldn't do that. Nah, couldn't have been Trevor. I mean, he wouldn't even know what to do. He's only a kid. He wouldn't hurt no one. I don't know why you had to get a warrant to search the place. What did you expect to find?
How about these, for starters?
Trevor?
Well, are they yours, son?
Yeah.
How could you?
Well, lots of guys have them. It doesn't mean anything. Well, it's not a crime, is it? Mum?
No, son. It isn't a crime, but what about this?
You got no right.
I've got every right. I'm investigating a very serious charge against you.
Well, what is it? What's in the...
No, don't.
It's what you might call a love letter, Mrs. Collins, to Lindy Delaney. I think you'd better come down to the station with me, son. We might want to ask you a few more questions. I'm sorry.
Trust me to get shoved in here when something like this happens. I should be out there helping that kid.
Yeah, poor little bugger. Don't reckon he really did it, though, do you?
Oh, of course he bloody well didn't. That stupid mole was probably so out of it she didn't know what was going on.
It's Lindy that I'm worried about. The poor kid just got over one bad experience and now this happens.
Yeah, but she's got no right to go blaming Trevor, has she?
But you did say it was a bit strange, always sneaking up on people.
He was shy, that's all.
I just wish I could talk to Lindy and find out what really happened.
Hey, do any of you want to put anything on this list for Davo?
Oh, yeah, put me down for one bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, might have a try for that bikie. Never know your luck.
I thought Davo said to keep to the basics. Someone's put down here 6 joints and a ticket out of here.
What does it matter what we ask for? They'll knock it all back anyway.
I sure as hell will if you turn this one in. I don't care. I'll be out of here. I'm glad I won't be around to see the results.
That's what you said last time. Your trouble is you can't keep away from here.
It's too true, Lizzie, but come on, all kidding aside. You're always at them because they don't give you anything, and then when they suggest it, you knock it. Well, that's kind of dumb, don't you think? You really might get something this time. Does everyone reckon we should give it a good try?
Yeah.
Come on, Phyllis, start again, love. Now, what we need are things like cushions for the rec room, that sort of thing.
Good on you, Helen. And you can front up to Davo when we've finished the list. You're the only one around here with any good ideas.
Sorry to keep you waiting. All right, you two. Stand on the white line, will you? Your name is Lainey Dobson, is that correct?
Yes.
You've been charged with shoplifting and assaulting an officer, is that correct?
Yes.
And your name is Ellen Farmer, is that correct? Answer me, please. You've been charged with shoplifting, is that correct? Yes. You'll have to speak up.
She's a bit shy, miss. It's her first time in the slammer.
All right. Right. Come on. You'll have to take a shower.
What? I gotta get undressed?
It's the usual way to take a shower.
No.
What on earth's the matter?
I don't want to.
Don't be silly. You've got to have a shower.
I already had one today.
It's not the point. It's part of the regulations here.
Oh, stuff the regulations.
Dobson, you're not making a very good beginning to your stay here. Now, either you disrobe now, or we are going to have to do it for you.
No, I don't want to. Please, leave me alone. Please, leave me alone.
I'm sorry we had to do that. Undressing in front of people is something you'll have to get used to. There's very little privacy in a place like this. Right, now, as soon as you're ready, you'll be fingerprinted, and then you'll sign for your valuables. After that, you'll be allocated a cell, and then you can join the other women.
G'day, Jude.
Hi, how'd you go?
Oh, real good. Looks like the coppers are doing the right thing for a change. Must have convinced them because they're charging him.
I see.
Well, aren't you pleased? You said yourself the bugger who shouldn't get off.
No, I believe that. I'm just a bit worried, that's all.
What do you mean?
Honey, I know how you feel about Trevor. Okay, he's been a pest hanging around looking through the windows.
Perving, you mean?
Whatever. I'm just wondering if maybe that didn't colour your judgment.
Oh, come on, we've been through all that.
Lindy, sometimes you get things wrong.
The cops couldn't have thought so.
Well, I do. I mean, look how wrong you got Maxine. I mean, last night you were so stoned you wouldn't have even recognised your own mother.
That's not true.
Come on, you couldn't hold a glass of water without shaking.
I wasn't that bad, just a bit boozed. And I sure as hell knew who was raping me.
Oh, Mrs. Morris, can I see the governor? I've got that list she asked us to make up for the department, you know, for the goods.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll take you in a minute. All reasonable requests, I trust?
Oh, yes, I've weeded out the holidays in the sun and the swimming pools.
Good. These are two new arrivals. This is Lainey Dobson and Ellen Farmer.
Hi, Helen Smart. Well, you two picked a good time to arrive. The place is going 4-star.
Right, now this is your cell. If you'd like to make your beds and settle yourselves in, then you can join the other women. Okay? Okay, Helen, we'll see Mrs. Davidson's free.
Oh, good.
It's not so bad. At least we're together.
There we go, Mrs. Davidson. All signed, sealed, and delivered.
Thank you. Good. These are the sort of items the department had in mind.
You mean we'll really get the goods?
Of course, if they're approved.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Davidson. What's really going on? I mean, I cannot believe that we're going to get this for nothing.
It's unusual, I agree, but there's no ulterior motive.
Well, there usually is.
You sound just like B. Smith. Have you taken over as spokeswoman during her absence?
No, just passing through. Strikes me as a little strange, that's all.
Well, there's no mystery. I agree there has been some strain between the department and the women in the past, but this should improve matters considerably.
Let's hope so, eh? But most of us will only believe it when the stuff is in front of us.
Mrs. Collins.
Where is she?
If you mean Lindy, she's upstairs.
I must see her.
I don't think that would be a good idea at the moment.
But Trevor's been charged. I've got to talk to her.
Look, I know how you must feel, but she's upset.
How do you know how I feel? It's not your son who's in jail.
I know that. Let's sit down and talk this over calmly.
Calmly? I don't think you understand. It's his reputation. His whole future we're talking about.
I realize that.
And I thought if I could talk to her, make her see reason.
I don't think that Lindy is capable of seeing reason at the moment. She's been raped and bashed. She's scared.
Trevor's scared too. I've got to do something. I'm his mother. Those pictures he had and the letter he wrote to the girl. I know it looks bad, but he's a good boy at heart. And I can't bear to think of him being locked up for years.
That might not happen, you know.
It will if she gets her way. Look, she's a prostitute. She's probably used to this. The experience won't hurt her as much as it will Trevor. I thought...
You thought that she might change her mind? Well, I don't think that's very likely, do you? A woman has a right to be protected from rape. Now, he'll get a fair trial. He might even get out on bail.
I had to leave him in that place. I didn't have enough money for bail in the banks, I knew. And he was so frightened.
Hey, look here, take this money and pay me back, huh?
I can't.
Now, come on. Bring him home.
Thank you. You're very kind.
How'd you go with old Davo, Helen?
Well, I gave her the order. Now we just got to wait and see if the department comes to the party or not.
Yeah, well, they should have put Decent Tucker at the head of the list.
God, I didn't think of that. Sherry trifle, rum balls, Irish coffee for a night nap. Hey, we got a couple of new chums.
Oh, yeah, that's Laney and Ellen. I met them in the corridor.
Wonder what they're in for. They look very young and nervous, don't they, the poor little buggers.
Would you examine? Would you? Looks like the freak has got a goodies anyway. They're a couple of dykes.
Oh, I'm getting pretty bored of my own company. I'm off to the pub.
Do you think that's wise?
Yeah, why not? Can't stick around this joint all day.
Yeah, well, it hardly seems right under the circumstances.
Don't worry. I'm not going to get tanked or anything. Oh, bloody hell.
What's wrong?
That bastard, they let him out.
Yeah, well, he's allowed bail.
Well, they shouldn't have. He ought to stay locked up.
Yeah, well, I think his mother will be able to keep an eye on him. Driscoll House?
Can I speak to Lindy, please?
Yeah, sure. It's for you, honey.
Yeah? Who's this?
You remember me? In the pub last night. And afterwards. We had a real party afterwards, didn't we?
I'm looking forward to second such a...
I'll be in touch. I'll be in touch real soon.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines. The sun and rain are prisoners too. When morning comes around, last night I dreamed we were together, sharing